Okay, in this video I talk about um, quality of life and the memory of events, and how the mismatch can lead to what's the word, deception. So I've been someone who has been conscious for a long time, from my early childhood. uh, I was actually born in Africa, and I came to the UK when I was like 11 years old, and I lived in a West Indian community, and they're very conscious. So I I was actually um, never really looked at myself as being inferior to anyone, because I wasn't surrounded by people who saw themselves as being inferior. So we were conscious from the onset. And I also used to be influenced by many speakers, and one of them was Dr. Malachi Z. York. I'm late on this issue. I didn't know that he had been indicted and arrested and sentenced, but he was somebody who spoke a lot of thought-provoking, eye-opening subjects. Yeah, and he's somebody who I would say um, I was inspired by. Yeah, and he built up his community. Apparently, I didn't know this. I used to hear his talks, but I didn't know what had happened. But I've just watched a video now, and they're saying that they've charged him and sentenced him. But it got me thinking, because I told you, when you listen to a teacher, you leave the man to teach his message, and then you go off on a tangent. But then I started to see how this relates to my life, and that's why I call this video what I call it, basically your quality of life versus the perception from memory. Yeah, and how that can lead to deception. Yeah, so for me, I behave different. I'm not the same. I don't operate the same way as most heterosexuals do, because in the heterosexual community, yeah, hold on, in the heterosexual community, um, we have a way of courting, yeah, where a woman likes to feel um, like not chaste. Yeah, obviously they most men like to know that a woman is chaste. Yeah, like she's never been touched. But women like being chaste. Yeah, it's a way of courting that's been around for thousands of years, where she will tell you, you go and talk to her and say, how are you, and she'll be like, I'm not interested. But when she really is, because we all know in as heterosexuals that that's how courting works. That's how you get from base one, base two, base three, base four. She's not going to be easy. Yeah, and you have to put in some work. Yeah, but unfortunately, sorry, I'm being targeted. There is a government agent, and they're fooling around with my recording device. So it just keeps telling me that an application has stopped when I'm recording, and I press OK, and it just keeps bringing it back. So I'm being targeted, I know, but I'll try to get through the video. So we know how courting works, but unfortunately, the way courting works, um, the whole routine amounts to stalking. Yeah, and actually, it's a form of rape, because a woman is not. You're not supposed to ask um, if somebody wants to have sexual relations with you, because it's seen as being vulgar, and it's really, it's not decent. But the thing is, if you don't ask for it, yeah, and you end up sleeping with that person, yeah, someone can later on, um, after the event, make her realize that she was raped. Because the simple thing is, if the man never asked you what was his dick doing inside you, yeah, see, he never asked for your consent, therefore he must have raped you. And she'll believe that, because any reasonable or intelligent person will say, well, okay, he never actually asked me if I want to sleep with him, but I did sleep with him, so he must have raped me. Do you see how interpretation of memory, yeah, can lead to the deception that makes you think that you were raped, but yet you know that that's how courtship works. We never ask. I do. Because I know this, I do. When I meet a woman and I say, oh, hi, how are you? And she does, you know, a rude gal thing, like, yeah. I'm like, okay, fine. But then she starts saying, you're an idiot, you're an idiot. And I'm like, I'm not going to chase you, because if I chase you, that's actually stalking and harassment. I know that's how it works, but if I chase you, that's actually stalking and that's harassment. Someone later on, we've got competitors, yeah, maybe a lesbian competitor or another man. Somebody can later on say, oh, you see, when you said, I'm not interested, yeah, and he chased you, he was actually trying to be domineering, like, you know how these men are always dominating. He's actually a narcissist. He's so full of himself. He was actually stalking you and harassing you. Yeah, but yet we know that that's how courtship works. So if I get a negative response, I know I'm supposed to chase, but I don't do that anymore, because obviously, like I said, I'm being victimized by the system, and they're looking for any excuse, yeah, any excuse, yeah. They will turn that into stalking and harassment if I followed her, yeah, any excuse to do me for something, yeah. So the way I conduct, I told you I'm not like any other heterosexual. The way I conduct courtship, if I don't feel comfortable that I can ask a woman to have sexual relations with her, yeah, I don't pursue it. I don't pursue that woman. If I look at her and I think she'll be offended if I ask her, yeah, I don't pursue that. Because if I don't ask you, then I would have never got consent. I would have never got a yes out of you, yeah. I ask direct, yeah. Let's say we're on a coffee and I want to take you back to my place, yeah. We just had a coffee. I'll say, okay, I really want to make love to you tonight. Is that okay? I would say, is that okay, or something like that. Something just so I can say, I can hear yes or no. If I don't feel comfortable in asking you, I won't even turn up on a date with you. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we have to modify the way we interact when we're courting, because nowadays you feel good when a man chases you. Oh, babe, you're like, hey, what's up with you? Are you okay? Like, and say, oh, baby, don't be like that. Yeah, I'm just trying to say hi, and she feels good inside. But the only problem is, if she's shown you a sign that she's not interested, and you do and after that, that's actually a form of harassment. And later on, when they get into her mind, they'll make her realize that she was actually being molested or raped. Yeah. So I fear that Dr. York might have been a victim of this, because all you have to do, and I tell females this, is know that was the experience during the time when you went through the experience, was it good for you? Was it a good quality of life? Would you say that you were happy? Did you feel pleasure? Yeah. Because there's no way you can tell me that somebody made you orgasm, yeah, and then afterwards you see that as rape. Yeah. If somebody had sex with you and you didn't come, you weren't feeling it and you felt bad in the whole experience, that's rape. But if somebody had sex with you and you loved it, you can't turn around later on and say, oh, because I didn't give him consent, that's rape. I mean, Theoretically, you can. Yeah. And this is what's happening to us. This is why we're losing out as heterosexuals. We need to change the way we do our courting. Yeah, we're being called for rape for just be. They've studied our courting techniques and they're turning that into rape. So I don't court like that anymore. And I tell any prospecting partner of mine, if you want to get with me, yeah, you don't play that. I'm not chasing you because I'm being watched by the system. Yeah, my haters have called the system on me. Yeah, and I'm not gonna catch a rape charge. Yeah, because I wanna fuck. Yeah, I want this shit to be straight. Yeah, and no funny business. Yeah, if you're not interested and you show it, I'm leaving that. I'm desperate, but I'm not desperate to catch a rape charge. Yeah, so we get caught like this. We get caught like this. Yeah, and I just wanted to point out that things have to change. We're gonna lose out because of the way we're caught. Women have to learn to stop doing that. Stop encouraging us to chase. Stop encouraging that, because that's actually rape. Yeah, that's actually encouraging the rape side of a man to come out. And men who like that kind of courting, yeah, you got to stop wanting to do that. You got to stop wanting to chase a woman. What for? Yeah, you should look for consent. Yeah, and women, if you are consenting, don't pretend that you're not. Yeah, because you're encouraging a man to start thinking along the lines of raping your ass. Yeah, so we need to start being straight with each other here. If you're genuinely interested, I ask you for a date, you say cool. I ask you to have sex, you say cool. If you're a consenting adult, we can do that. If it's not for money, it's for relationship purposes, we can do that. Yeah, we don't want to get to a situation where every time I want to make love to you, I need to ask you, can we have sex now? Should we have sex? Is it okay if we have sex? Yeah, but we're gonna have to do that nowadays because the women we date, I'm not saying all of them are airheads, but how could you know that that's the way courtship works, and then 5 years down the line, yeah, somebody convinces you that you were raped during the moment when you were going through that courtship and that relationship? Didn't it feel good? Were you happy? Then how was that rape? But if somebody anyway, so I don't court like that anymore. Not because I'm a waste man or a stupid fool. It's just that I know the system's watching me and they're looking for any excuse, yeah, to turn anything innocent that I do with any woman into a rape charge. Yeah, they groom and program women to encourage men to chase them. Then they later on convince them that if a man did that to you, they raped you. These men are arrogant to the point where they don't even wait. If they catch you sleeping with a woman, yeah, they will assume that you raped her because they programmed her never to encourage you to ask her and to always encourage you to chase her. So if they know that she didn't want to be asked, she wanted you to chase her, so they will just say, well, you chased her and you never asked for consent, that's rape. Yeah, so as soon as they see you fucking someone, they turn up with police. Yeah, because they know you raped her because you never asked for consent and she didn't want to be asked. So what's your dick doing inside her? So to avoid that you need to ask her even until the last moment, babe, come over to my place. Let's make love tonight. She says, okay. When she's there, babes, I want to make love to you now. Is that okay? You always ask her, is that okay? Yeah. As long as you hear a yes, they'll be listening to your minds. Yeah, listening to what's going on. But as long as she says yes, when they make her remember 5 years down the line, was there any time he asked you? Yes. Did you say yes? Yes. Oh shit, we can't do nothing. You see what I mean? I always think about later on. Yeah. You have to make sure that you've asked her and the word yes has come out of her mouth. Because 5 years down the line, they will ask her that. But if you're fucking her without asking her directly and without hearing the word yes out of her mouth, 5 years down the line, they're going to say that never happened. You never gave consent. You were raped. And she says, well, I suppose so. Like some kind of airhead. So women, you got to step up, shape up. Yeah, stop being silly. It's serious now. They're targeting us. Police is on it. Yeah, system is on it. Secret agents are on it. Yeah, and when you get to be a victim of jealousy, they're assisting those. They're assisting people who are like that with us. Yeah. So let me leave you with that thought. Yeah. Let's change the way we do courtship as heterosexuals. I can't advise all the other people. And hopefully, um, we'll get through this without anybody feeling like they've been raped or anything like that. Thank you.